Hey y'all, welcome back to Cuppy's Crochet Cove. If you were with me last time, we made, whoops, didn't mean to do that. I'm new at this, my finger slipped. Anyway, we made that cute little dress over there that you can barely see past my chair, my coffee cup, computer. Yeah. See, I have a very tiny room, so everything is all whatever. Anyway, moving on. Here's the yarn I'm using. I love this yarn, and I have been pitching a fit to hurry up and get into this yarn because I really do. Perfect name. I love this yarn. So with that being said, get your hook. I'm using an H hook. Doubt you can see that because I still haven't figured everything out about lighting and how to get everything just perfect. But I love crocheting. And I thought, well, you know, if I'm showing a purse on there with the, and I've already made, yeah. But I'm going to go with a little different pattern, and I'm kind of making this up as I go along. So, bear with me. Starting off with a slip knot. And because it's a purse, yeah, you want to use yarn that's got a little, you know, good sturdy yarn where it's not going to break easy, especially if you're one of those ladies that like me on occasion, I don't clean it out as often as I should and it gets junky. So anyway, we're going to chain, I'm going with 50 for now. 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to stop right there and see you at the end of 50, but before I do, I made my tail however long I made my tail because I did want a little extra at the end. So that's about 10ish, almost 10 inches, because for certain projects I do want a longer tail. And yeah, my table is a mess over here. I'm trying to pull it and it's all wrapped around scissors and a previous project that I gave up on because this was going to be a purse, and yeah, let's measure it and I'll let you know why I gave up. Because it's 21 inches, and I'm not looking for a beach bag, plus we're working in single crochet, so I decided to move on to another one, and I was trying out someone else's pattern, and it ended up being this, and again, it's 18, 17 inches, but I'm just not happy with it. I'm not pleased. So I figured, well, you know, I put a little of this and a little of that into it. Y'all, and I can't believe, I've got to get this tape measure out of here. This thing is so big and bulky and heavy. This is my husband's tape measure. I finally bought my own, and I'm loving this. It's so light, but I keep losing it because I need to clean my room. So I'm going to do that also while I'm off camera. So chain 50, unless you want yours shorter. You can go smaller than that. You can go larger than that. You do you. I catch myself saying that a lot. You do you. Because, I mean, after all, this is your purse or bag, tote, whatever it ends up being up for you, you know? It's yours. You're going to make it. You're going to, you know what you want. Or you know what you want to make for someone else. That's up to you, you know? Be creative. Oh, before I forget, this is another reason why, is because I did not get these to waste. I got these from Walmart. Not the size I wanted once I got home and got to looking, but this is all they had, so I went with it. I have my 7/16 extra large eyelets, 11 millimeters, and then the extra large eyelet tools. And pretty sure we're supposed to make the tools things match with the eyelets. I don't know, but we're going to find out by the time we get there, or by the time I get there. I would say let me know in the comments below, but obviously you're not going to see any of this until after I'm done with it and uploaded. And anyway, chain your chains 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. You do you, as wide as you want. I'm going to start with 50 and see how it goes, and meet you back. Hey y'all, back again. Quick, huh? So at the end of our 50 single crochet, or 50 chain row, chain one more, total of 51, and into your very first stitch. I'm trying to look on camera to see if this darker yarn is better, if it'll zoom in. Oh, it will, kinda. If it's fuzzy, I'm sorry, I'm trying. So into the very first stitch, single crochet 1, and single crochet into the next, and the next, and go all the way down for a total of, for me, 50. For you, however wide you want your purse to be. I know I talked about my measuring tape a while ago. No, I didn't clean up my room the way I should have, but hey, it's getting kind of late and my husband will be coming in from work. Yeah, I still ended up a little longer than what I would like, 12, so I may take some out, who knows. I think I'm wanting mine to actually be 10 inches, so yeah, or 10-ish. No, I'm not counting just yet, because like I say, you don't really have to count, just get it as long as you want. Do I want a good even number? Yeah, because that's me, even though I know we're going to have to go over to odd numbers, but that's a whole different story. We'll get there in time. Okay, 10, I'm going to take out a few more, because I know in my head how long I want it to be, but I'm not very good at visualizing things before they're completely made. Yeah, and that's going to shrink down. I'm stretching it out. That's 10, shrink down. It's not going to shrink down. It's probably going to grow a little more. I don't know. This is stretchy yarn. We'll see whenever we get there. So anyway, now how many ever chains you decide, simply single crochet all the way down to the end. Again, I didn't count how many I pulled out, so I have no idea. And it doesn't matter because this is how long I want it. I'm just going to count to find out how many I do have once I do get to the end. Yeah, that's a real efficient way of doing things, isn't it? Well, it is on this particular project. It's whatever you want. So crochet all the way down to the end, and I'm going to count my stitches and I'll be back. Okay, well, I counted my stitches and I'm writing it down. Why, I don't know, because it's not really going to matter. You'll see why. So 11, about 11 inches roughly is what I got. Sorry, I'm turning that down. I forgot to earlier. That's the scanner. I listened to it for background noise. Anyway, at the end of your chain, yeah, row, at the end of your row, single crochet 1 and turn. So I know I'm going to go down 39 single crochets on this row, And yeah, this is just the base of it. You're not going to see this anyway, so it doesn't really matter how spiffy you do. Just get all the way down to the end, and I will meet you at the end. Woohoo! End of row 2. Crocheting into the very last one for a total, for me, 39. I had to look. Chain 1, turn, and go all the way down again for a total of how many ever you have on yours. I'm going to just continue saying 39 because that's what I'm doing, and I'm trying to keep up, and I think this is going to turn out lovely. So meet you back in a few minutes. I'm coming on the last one of row 3, and I'm going to go one more row. So row 4, all the way across, same as row 1, 2, and, well, same as row 2 and 3. Row 1, with the chain and everything, a little different. So anyway, 4th row, and then we're going to start working into the round, because, yeah, I've tried all kinds of different patterns on making a purse, and it's go down this row and go down that row, and it's, for me, it's just too complicated. And I'm like, oh, how many do I count? How many do I not count? And it's just slow, and I get confused. Yes, I do know how to read patterns, but concentrating on them is a whole different ball game, and being able to keep up where I'm at. So yeah, this is why I'm just doing it this way, because it's easier, and it's not like everybody's going to look at your purse at the bottom of it and be like, oh, I like this and I like. So anyway, my yarn's all tangled up, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, minute's up. I'm back. My yarn is still kind of tangled, and I'm running out because I was using this on another thing, but I don't want to waste yarn, so I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll figure it out in a minute. Anyway, last single crochet. Now we get to start working into the round. Now is the time you're going to want to get your stitch marker. And mark that very last single crochet. Now moving on to the side. You're going to go the next down on the side. You're going to go into the row beneath that and single crochet 1, and the next one below that one there's another one, and the next there's 3, and I am looking for a stitch marker here. Oh, perfect. Got a needle and thread. So I'm going to mark that because I want to know exactly where everything is. And I want to know that I'm crocheting into the right thing. And now here in the corner it looks a little wonky. Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and just crochet over that. Because, yeah, it'll work out. So now I have 1, 2, 3, and kind of a 4th on the edge here. Doesn't matter how many you have. It'll work out. Trust the process. And on your first row, this will be your chain row. Keep going all the way down. And I could have put my stitch marker in a different place, but I didn't. The only one that really matters is where I told you on the very last one on the row. The edges don't matter just yet. But anyway, keep going along your foundation. Just crochet along there to the number. Again, my number was 39. If yours is different, you know, it's how many ever along that side, and if you come up with a different, that's okay. Nobody is going to be picking up your purse and say, oh, well, here's mine. My regular everyday store-bought purse. You know, no, if it's sitting around, nobody's going to say, oh, hey, let me look at the bottom of your purse. Oh, the stitch. No, nobody does that. It'll be okay. So, again, I will meet you back at the stitch marker. And once you get to the stitch marker, go back and count your stitches. You'll see why. Because, yeah, we'll get to that. Just keep up with how many stitches you have, which is another reason for the stitch markers here. Maybe it'll help you count. It doesn't really help me. I just, because I'm not good with the numbers. But anyway, meet you back at the stitch marker. I definitely told a story. I'm not meeting you back at the stitch marker because I forgot we got the other side to go down. So 39 down here, 39 across for me, and then 1, 2, 3. Told you I'm just going to have to go back and count even with the stitch markers. So now that we've got all the way to the end, and here's our place where we first started, I'm going to have to go back and count. But anyway, single crochet over that tail into the corner and into going down the side into the next one and the next one down. Yeah, I can't really get that into the side here, so I'm just going to go into the little hole on the bottom. Again, it doesn't matter. It's going to come out cute no matter what. And into the itty bitty teeny tiny corner here. And now I am going to put a stitch marker into that one because I know that is the very last one for that corner. For me anyway. I think I'm winging it. And just keep going all the way until you get to the, you know what, that didn't make sense. I'm not putting that stitch marker in there because I don't need it. I'm taking it out. And I know I keep going off camera, and I'm sorry for that. But again, I'm all over the place. But I think y'all have figured that out by now. I mean, come on. Nobody's perfect. But I'm just trying to get better. But I also want to, you know, try, because there's so many complicated patterns out there for everything. And while I do love a challenge, and I do love a challenge, but I just don't want to make it any harder than what it actually has to be. You know, I've cried, literally bawled my eyes out after trying to do so many different. I'm like, I can't get it. This pattern is, yeah. So, like I said, I knew I would run out of yarn. So, on my other project, I'm gonna go frog the yarn kind of in my wishy-washy way out of that. Oops, I'm about to get too much. I want to have somewhat of a tail in there. Somewhat, not like I'm going to sew it though, and you'll see why in a second. But I am going to cut off this little piece of yarn. If you still have plenty, keep crocheting over it. I'm just cutting mine because I don't want mine to be too thick, because I'm going to be crocheting over yarn. Be back in a minute. Okay, so instead of winding all that up, because that's a lot of yarn there, I just don't feel like winding it. Instead of having to pull out a whole, anyway, if you do have to get to where you need to change colors, because you can do that, and you can change and use as many colors or as few as you like, 1, 2, 3, how many, it's up to you and whatever yarn you prefer. And on this stitch, here's how we are going to change color. Even though I'm not changing color, if you have to add yarn or change color, this is how you do. I guess if you're changing colors though, it'd be better to change at, not there, at your first stitch, but you're not going to want to change the color right now anyway, because this is the bottom and nobody's going to see it. So moving right along. Alright, single crochet, but don't pull all the way through. Okay, I feel like I'm making a graph gan. I haven't done that in a while, and eventually I'm going to try to get there, but not today. So now we've completed this last stitch. Yarn over, grab out a new yarn and pull through. Next, yarn over, pull through, and just keep doing that all the way until you reach the stitch marker. And I will meet you back as soon as I get there. I'm turning this off now. It's coming up a storm outside anyway. No, it doesn't bother me. It's not lightning or anything like that, but welcome to the South. We got lots of storms daily right now. Anyway, meet you back. Alright, and I'm back at my stitch marker where I counted a total of 86 all the way around, but we want an odd number. So this is where we first started, and I'm going to show you this. So here's our first. If you don't have an odd number, like I don't, here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to put in my first 2 single crochets because I have that tail piece that's getting on my nerves. But this will be the last one that I have to worry about. 1, 2, yeah. 2 and 3. And keep crocheting around. 4. Now that we're at this corner, now is a good time to make an odd number. So there's 1 and single crochet into that same stitch once again. Now how many ever I just said I counted, I know it was an odd number, but anyway, I don't even know what round, what is it, round 2, round 3, doesn't matter. I'm not keeping up with rounds or rows or anything else. But you're going to keep on keeping on. Single crochet all the way around until you get back to the stitch marker. And I have no idea how many rounds I have. I'm not even worried about it. I'm not even counting my stitches right now. Just go all the way back to the stitch marker because my husband just walked in from work and I want to go see him. And unless he's coming in here to scare me, and I really hope he doesn't, because I'm too old for that. I'm not old, I've just been here a long time. Not as long as others, but anyway, meet you back around at the stitch marker. Alright, so 87 is what I have total all the way around. And I'm writing it down this time. Last time I wrote it down and scratched it out, but I was wrong on my number. I wrote down 78. But anyway, I'm 87, and I'm going to single crochet around this one more time, and because I just don't think that's wide enough for the purse I want, so I just want one more all the way around, and I will be back. And I'm back after some technical difficulties I had over here. But we're going to start on our next round. Taking out our stitch marker. And into this first single crochet, you're going to single crochet once. And I'm putting my stitch marker back in that very first single crochet. And now you're going to find out why we need an odd number. So into the next single crochet, and I'm trying my very, very hardest to get this to the best way you can see. Instead of crocheting into this stitch up here, we're going to drop below that one. So you're going underneath the entire single crochet and single crochet into that. And in the next single crochet, and again in the next, instead of going on top of this single crochet, you're going to go below it into the stitch below and single crochet. Single crochet in the next, and go below the single crochet. The next single crochet and go underneath that one, and we're going to go all the way around. But as you can see, whenever I first started doing this, it kind of wanted to pop back, which is good. That's how I prefer. If you want to crochet this way without it popping back, then you're just going to be going inside the whole way up. But if you just let it pop out like it wants to naturally do, let it, because that's the easiest way for me. And we're going to continue that all the way around. And I do know how frustrating it can get to find the one underneath that you really want to get to. So this first round may take a little more time, but after this it's really easy to figure out where you're at and where you need to put your next stitch into. I promise it does get easier, but just like with the foundation chain, that's always for me the most frustrating. And anyway, go all the way around until you get back to your stitch marker, and I will meet you there for the next round. Hey y'all, and I'm back, and somewhere along in here my stitch marker fell out, so I'm not really sure where I'm at, to be honest with you. So I'm guessing. So on that one, though, I do know I finished on a single crochet. And I think I was right around here. So I'm assuming this is going to be, you know, going underneath and up. This is I believe it's called a bean stitch. I'm putting my marker back in here, and I have no idea how many stitches I actually have here, but it came out right because let me just single crochet and go underneath, because I mean, you get it. I hope you understand what I'm trying to do here. But what happens, I'm hoping I can do this. Bear with me. If I can get it to where I can zoom in, I am trying. What's going to happen, if you can see, you're going to have one on the top and one on the bottom. Yeah, let me get there. One on top and one on the bottom. But then whenever you're coming back through, this stitch will be here, and then you're going to single crochet on top of that one, so it's like right here. This one is below that one, and then on top of that is a single crochet, and then on top of that one it's going to be the underneath and then the on top. That's why we're doing this with odd numbers, because if we did it with even numbers, then it would just be, it just wouldn't look the same with the same pattern. I don't really know what it would look like, but I'm not going to do that. Or if you want and you're not understanding, you can just simply do it in a single crochet all the way around. And here we go. This was all done in single crochet. Another project, same one from earlier that I'm going to have to frog, but then it'll be in just single crochets all the way around. That's not single crochet at the bottom, but this is, it's just single crochet all the way around. So if you want to do that, you can do that also. So that's a completion of round, as far as the body goes, round 2. And you're going to repeat that same pattern over and over and over again, remembering, don't let your stitch marker fall out, or actually get a real stitch marker. Okay, that's one real stitch marker where you can actually clip it in, or a safety pin, something where it's not going to fall out. Because for right now it's going to work, but if it falls out later, I can't make any promises on what it's going to look like. But like I said the last time, you know, this is just the bottom of your bag, purse, whatever you want to call it, pocketbook. This is the bottom, and nobody's going to look. So I'm not sure how many rounds I'm going to do, but I'm going to mark every one to let you know how many rounds I end up putting into mine. And then we're going to work on something else for it. Not sure yet. I want to say change color. Not real sure. We'll know whenever we get there. I'll know too. You'll know when I know. Alright, be back in a little while. Meet you at the stitch marker. I forgot to turn my microphone on. Let me try this again. I forgot to turn my microphone on. So here we are. This is the end of row 5, and this is what it's looking like so far. Kind of didn't want it to be that wide, that, yeah, wide. It's late, and I'm tired. But anyway, I don't know if y'all saw that or not. It's about 13, 12, 13 inches. Sorry, that's my scanner going. It's the weekend, so listening to everybody on the road. Anyway, this is 5 rows in, and I did miscount. I don't have 87 stitches. I have 89, and that's fine. Again, just keep your numbers odd. And it's nighttime here, so I'm gonna have to look and see later how this is doing, because yeah, it is nighty-night nighttime. Usually I have my windows open during the day, and I think maybe that helps with lighting, but it seems to me like now that it's nighttime outside, I can see a little clearer, unless that's just me being tired. Anyway, I'll be back at row 10, and see you there. As promised, we're back. So that's 10 rows into it so far, not including this part of it, just the sides. This is just the bottom showing. It's a very slow growing project, but we'll get there. Just keep going, and I'll be back on row wherever I get whenever I end, and we'll see you later, because I'm tired. My fingers hurt, so I'm going to put this down for a while and come back later, and you'll see me then, whenever that'll be. Oh, here we are. 20 rows so far of the little bean stitch. And back to it. And here we are now. And this is row 40. Be back in a little while. Alright, here I am at the end of row 45. I decided that was enough for me. If you want to do more, if you want to do less, that's fine. Up to you. And now I'm going to change color. Take this out. And I'm going to cut this. Yeah, that ought to be long enough. No, I'm not going to sew that in. So it's long enough for me. Taking my white, and I'm going to come back and undo this stitch a little bit to change. And this is all we do. Single crochet halfway. Hold that. Taking my white yarn, leave a little tail, not too much, but want to have enough to keep that yarning over. And single crochet, I'm at the bottom bean stitch, single crochet. I take that back, I take that back, I take it back. I forgot. It's morning, y'all. It's only 7 a.m. and I still haven't had enough coffee. In this row, we're going to single crochet. Regular at the top of each stitch. Single crochet. 2, 3. Sorry, there's actually no reason for me to be counting right now, but I am anyway, because that's just me, my habits. Actually, I forgot to change the size of my hook. I was going to go down a size, but I'm going to do that later. I'll do it on the next row, I guess. I mean, I probably won't. I have no idea. You'll know when I know. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go down a size. Because those stitches, I'm just not very pleased. Or maybe it's the yarn I'm using, but that looks big to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. You'll see why I'm staying on camera in a second. As soon as I get this yarned over pretty good, I don't know how many stitches I'm doing. I just want to get enough to cover up this tail. Almost there. I'm trying. I'm not very fast. I'm faster than some, slower than others. Yay! I've almost completely got her covered up. Who knows, I may even change the yarn. But anyway, alright, yay. I got my tail. Okay, and it looks kind of funny. I don't want anything sticking out. Will this one be the last one? Yes. Okay. Now that you have your tail, well, I've got mine, so maybe you got yours done. Now we're going to single crochet one together. And I don't know if I said this before, but somehow I went from 87 to 89 stitches, and that's okay. Deal with it. But now I know I have 88 stitches, because you're just going to pick any spot, it doesn't matter where, and do that decrease. I almost said something else. It is early. I am not a morning. I am a morning person, but I'm trying to get my sleep schedule back to normal for me. So anyway, crochet, single crochet at the top of every one all the way around, and I will meet you back at the stitch marker. Alright, early in the morning, and somehow or another, if you did what I did, and I don't know if you did, anyway, my stitch marker ended up here, so that would be 89, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, I did all the way around. This last stitch ended up being 88, unless I just put my stitch marker in the wrong place. It's early, so what I'm going to do, 1, 2, and now I'm going to put in my stitch marker, because I could have just did it in the wrong place. Who knows? It's early, y'all. Besides, I mean, come on. It's going to come out super cute. Oh, there we go. Oop, told you I had my scanner on. Anyway, I don't think this is wide enough for what we're going to do, so I'm going to do another round. See you at the stitch marker to let you know if we're going to do another round or how we're going to do it. But yeah, more coffee. I'll meet you at the stitch marker. It's early. And I ended up not with my last stitch on the stitch marker again, unless I miscounted, but anyhow, I'm still not deep enough in, so I'm going to just go off camera and go ahead and just add 2 more rows and hope that'll be enough. And I don't know what I did. I could, like I say, I could have miscounted, but anyhow, that's 1, 2, 3 rows. I'm going to do 2 more. Then I'll be back, and I know I will have 88 single crochets all the way around. And if you don't have that amount, that's fine. we can fix that too. As long as you got an even number, that's all that matters. And I'll see y'all in 2 more rows.